Good morning, Daniel. So, here is where we are going to run your samples on the combined machine with a wide belt in the front and then the rotor in the back. The rotor obviously spins these brushes, counter-rotating, and then it rotates in itself. You can see here, you see the front brush and then you see the back brush. And at the same time it oscillates back and forth so that you get a very random pattern on the part. The second set of the parts that we are going to run for you is we are going to run through the wide belt sander, and then we are going to switch machines. We'll show you that later, where we're going to run them through the crossbelt. So, we're going to close this up. We have a very fine grid on the machine, and we're going to turn the light on so Larry can take some pictures afterwards. And we are going to start with your thicker material, which you adjust here, where you see the caliper on it. And we're going to go to about 2.5 millimeters in thickness. Now, we have 3 of them, so I think we are more interested in the crossbelt machine. So for right now, I'm only going to run one through that with everything on. You're going to hear a lot of sound because the machine has a vacuum track in the middle, more intense hold in the centers, less intense on the side. It has a vacuum track actually across the entire belt, and this is what holds the parts down. We're going to put on this machine we can put the parts straight down because the rotor afterwards it will not discriminate as to which direction the part has. So we turn on wide belt unit, and we are going to turn on the rotor at full RPM. We have the rotation turned on, we have the oscillation turned on. We are going to turn on the conveyor belt, and we are going to turn on the vacuum fan. And as soon as we get a green light here, we are good to go. There we go. And now we're going to control our conveyor belt speed to where we get nice sound. And that will take care of the slag, and at the same time it will rotate. It's nice and warm. You see the slag is gone, also in between here. There's a little bit left here on the run. The edges are nice and round, very consistent. You see the random pattern on the top of it. And we will do the same thing on the other side in order to get rid of these things. If you run the top side, we have less curve. We can go a little bit faster. We'll increase. Excellent edges. Also on the inside contours, more than a likable part. Now, what I'm going to show you is how we are going to switch to the thinner gauge, which is 0.8 millimeters. So what we do is we simply bring the thickness down about 1 and place it in the center where we have maximum vacuum. Around the part, if it's chipped and things like that. Excellent edge quality. A little bit of dust. I think you will like these parts. On the reverse side, what we are going to do is we are going to turn off the wide belt sander. Okay? But we are going to keep this going the way we have it. So that you can see what that looks if you don't use the wide belt sander, because we don't have any burr on that part. See a little bit of a different surface pattern on this part than you see over here. Okay. Now, put these to a side. We are also going to, now we are going to run these parts, basically identically the same thing. We have a little bit of dross here. And this side is almost dross free. We could run rotor only. These again are 2.5 millimeters. So we go up in thickness. 2.5. Turn white belt on. Go a little bit slower. You will like this quality very much. So, now we're going to do something completely different. Side, we're just going to run this through the wide belt at an angle. So we're going to keep this off, but now we are going to turn the brushes on. With the frequency burner, it takes a while for them to pick off, right? And obviously, then we also can turn this and this on. We're going to keep the slower speed because that's how we would run it afterwards also through the conveyor belt, but I think we can go up a little bit in the thickness here. Still get a good result. There we go. Probably we should have done that a little bit harder because we didn't catch everything around here. But these two are really nice. Perfect. This is really perfect. Not too bad. There we go. So, now we take this. Already, and all we do is we set the thickness here to the same 2.5 millimeter, right? We're going to be very aggressive with it. We're going to turn the brushes on. We're going to turn the conveyor belt on to 2. We're going to keep that slow. And this is basically how the grain was. So this is how we're going to run that through here again. And this time with the crossbelt. The machine overall is shorter, so the parts come out faster, but that doesn't mean that you will put more parts through. That in the end is all the same because it all depends on, of course, on your conveyor belt speed and how fast you can load it. You can already see the white line, basically, for your edges. So also this is a very good edge, but nobody's going to cut themselves. People in assembly will like that a lot. And you see a little bit of a cleaner surface because it is two linear patterns overlapping, making a cross hatch, which has a little bit of a cleaner appearance than the rotor machine. I think that should be fully satisfactory to what you are getting. Okay, thank you very much. And we will finish the other parts without making a video of it because otherwise it would get too boring for you, but I think you get the gist. Thank you.